Detroit Lions just sent the NFL a reminder. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Detroit Lions news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. The first story is that Zarius Smith makes a promising Lions debut and busts out the electric celebration as well. Now, it didn't take long for veteran edge rusher Zarius Smith to make an impact with the Detroit Lions. The 32-year-old notched a sack on Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Mac Jones in the Week 11 game on Sunday. The play came in the fourth quarter after the game was well in hand, with the Lions leading 49-6. Jones dropped back to pass, and Smith, who was actually lined up inside, broke through Jacksonville's offensive line to get the sack. With the sack, Smith now has 6 on the season, which surpasses the 5.5 he totaled all of last season, making the sack even better. Smith's celebration was excellent. The Lions acquired Smith just ahead of the trade deadline after losing both Aiden Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport to season-ending injuries. He's under contract for 2025. Also, he won't be a short-term rental, assuming everything goes well. The veteran didn't make his debut last week, with head coach Dan Campbell wanting to give him the week off because he didn't get a bye week with the Cleveland Browns, who traded him during theirs. Man, very excited, Smith said of his impending Lions debut. "I was just talking to coach, I can't wait. I hate that he gave me the week off. Obviously, I didn't want it. That's something that they wanted for their players, and that's what I love about this football team, because they care about their players. And actually, he was a player, so he understands what's going on. I wanted to play. I did, but obviously, he wanted to make me take a week off because it was a bye, and I haven't had one," Smith added, before noting that he appeared the time off because it was allowed for him to check on his home in Florida in the wake of the recent hurricane. Smith has wasted no time initiating and integrating himself to the Lions fans, and the sack definitely helped for sure. Now, when it comes to the Detroit Lions as well, with the impressive performance that they did put on during this, season, but also during the most recent game against the Jaguars, it is now seen that the 2025 Super Bowl odds have the Detroit Lions now favored to win instead of the Kansas City Chiefs. An unbelievable season continues to get more unprecedented for the Detroit Lions after the Lions commanding 52-6 win over the Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs lost to the Buffalo Bills. The Lions are now favored to win the Super Bowl according to the latest odds from FanDuel. Now, on Sunday, the Lions pushed their record 9-1 and now tied with the Chiefs for the best record in football. Detroit has won 8 games straight, and this is a long active streak winning in football and the longest franchise winning streak in a single season since the Lions' 1934 season. So you definitely see that there is a big difference when it comes to this. And when we look at that, you need to be reminded that the Lions are just one of the 4 teams who have never appeared in a Super Bowl, joining Browns, Texans, and Jaguars. So when it comes to actually, the Detroit Lions, they could be setting history in this, arena very soon. Now, last year, the Lions came the closest they've ever been to the Super Bowl, holding a 17-point lead at halftime over the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship game before blowing it in the final 2 quarters. But this year's team looks clearly better than the 2023 version. Now, when we look at it, not only do they sport the league's best offense, but their defense also ranks in the top 10 in almost every statistical category. In other words, this isn't just Vegas riding the wave of a Lions team that is playing well right now. Detroit has earned every inch of being the Super Bowl favorite now. The second story is that Jamar Gibbs makes a plea for Ben Johnson to return in 2025. Now, Gibbs hopes for Johnson to remain with Lions despite certain head coach interests. Now, former All-Pro cornerback Richard Sherman had the same takeaway that many others did while watching the Detroit Lions run all over the Dallas Cowboys, and this was all the way back in Week 6. But as the Lions decimated the Cowboys to the tune of 47-9 shell locking, Sherman saw a team playing with revenge on its mind. On a recent episode of his podcast, the highly respected former player posed a question surrounding the game to Lions running back Jamar Gibbs. "What y'all did to Dallas, I thought about calling the police at one point, or another throughout the game," Sherman told Gibbs. "I felt like I couldn't figure out exactly what the crime was, but it was criminal with what you did with the Dallas Cowboys." It's a little no surprise, Gibbs confirmed that the team was indeed playing with revenge on its mind. Recall, the Lions lost to the Cowboys on the road last season, in part due to an officiating controversy at the end of the game. Whoever thought that was right, Gibbs said, we had to get that one back. The Lions had an opportunity to gain even more vengeance later this season, and as they are set to travel to Levi Stadium and take on San Francisco 49ers on December 30, the 49ers ended Detroit's charge toward a Super Bowl with a comeback victory in the NFC Championship game, a loss that still burns at the forefront of the minds of players and fans alike. Gibbs likened the feelings of that game to that of Detroit's recent comeback win over the Texans, which saw the team erase a 16-point deficit and shut out a hosting Houston team in the second half. We let that one slip, but we let that one slip and that was so crazy, Gibbs said. That was like a movie too, bro. Like no way that is happening. Second half, it was just like the Texans games, it just flipped, literally flipped. Gibbs is enjoying an exceptional second season with the Lions after Detroit drafted him 12th last season. He fell just short of 1,000 rushing yards and earned Pro Bowler honors in his debut season. Now, he's well ahead of pace to surpass the 1,000-yard plateau and ranks 6th in the NFL with 727 yards on the ground through Detroit's 8-1 start. Plenty of credit can be placed in the hands of offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, who is viewed as one of the league's best coordinators and will once again generate plenty of interest in head coach searches. Johnson spurred interest this past offseason to return to the Lions, and Gibbs is hoping he chooses to do so once again following the conclusion of the current campaign. It's an amazing offense to play in. Everybody gets the ball. Ben, he's a guru. Bro, I ain't even seen nothing like that. It gets crazy. He schemes up defenses so good, Gibbs said. Everybody gets the ball, so none of us are left out. The line must be getting the ball. Really special for the team that he came back, and the chemistry was all there. We knew what to expect. We knew the playbook, so the chemistry was all there. Hope he comes back again, man, please. It would honestly be amazing. Now, the Lions have a chance to make history this season as the organization has never won a Super Bowl, let alone reached one. The young running back has been a huge part of the team's success since entering the league and has appreciated the value that the winning has had for the community and fan base. Now he envisions a scene where the team can celebrate a historic moment with passionate fan base that has endured so many highs and lows over the franchise's lengthy history. It's cool being a part of something that's changing the community, changing the whole organization, Gibbs said. They're not used to this type of winning or winning in general. So being a part of this, being part of something special means a lot. And to the city. So we're really doing this for the city. Once we get that parade, we know it's going to be jumping.
So with week 13 almost here, one of my favorite places to bet on is actually BetUS. They got some of the best bets and early bets because right now they already have some week 13 bets ready to go and you can already do straight wagers. So we are actually having our money on Detroit Lions. We definitely see them winning this one. But when it comes to BetUS, they have the fastest payouts in the industry. And right now they have 150% bonus on your first deposit and then 125% bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. So definitely go check them out. BetUS is a fantastic platform. I use it all the time, and we got our money on Detroit Lions winning this one. So like I said, definitely go check them out. 150% bonus on your first deposit, and then 125% the bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000 with code YouTube150.
The third story is that the Detroit Lions defense is elite at creating havoc this season. Now, the Detroit Lions continue to be one of the most formidable teams in the NFL this season, as Dan Campbell's squad picked up a resilient come-from-behind victory over the Houston Texans in Week 10 and are 8-1 on the season. Detroit will head back home to host Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 11, but by the time you're watching this video, that's probably already happened, and are inching closer to climbing to a playoff berth. Now, though Detroit's offense stepped up in the second half of the team's victory over the Texans, Aaron Glenn's defense deserved most of the credit for the Lions' improbable road win. The unit came alive in final two quarters, posting a second half shutout and forcing two turnovers off quarterback CJ Stroud. Additionally, the Lions are also shut down Houston's potent rushing attack led by running back Joe Mixon. allowing just 56 yards on 2 yards per carry. Mixon ran for just 46 yards on 25 carries and struggled to find any breathing room. Glenn's group has been excellent in 2024, and despite losing starting edge rushers Aiden Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport to season-ending injuries, the unit continues to wreak havoc. According to Fantasy Live's Ian Hartitz, Detroit's defense is tied for the league in percentage of plays, where the defense tallies a pressure, tackle for loss, interception, forced fumble, or pass breakup. Hartitz aptly calls it havoc rate. Though the Lions' defense can be prone to giving up explosive plays, the group has been fantastic in key situations this season and will be even better addition of edge rusher Zarius Smith. The veteran pass rusher was traded to the Motor City ahead of November 5 trade deadline and has posted 5 sacks and 27 quarterback pressures in 2024. With Detroit still in a tight race to win the NFC North, Campbell and Glenn will need their defense to play at a high level for the rest of the campaign. So not only will this help them make playoff berth, but a lot of players and also ESPN analysts do believe Detroit Lions have a perfect shot at winning the NFL Super Bowl.